Dear students, this presentation is based on Class 10 Science, first chapter, Chemical Reactions and Equations. This is part 1 as it deals with a few examples of chemical equations and 5 steps to balance them. Whenever a chemical change occurs, we can see that a chemical reaction has taken place. We see a lot of chemical changes around us daily. Some of the examples are burning of a matchstick, human respiration, rusting of iron, and formation of curd from milk. Students, many experiments conducted in your junior lab involves chemical reactions. One such example is the burning of a piece of magnesium ribbon. Mostly a piece of magnesium ribbon is held with tongs and showed in the flame of a Bunsen burner. We can observe that magnesium ribbon burns with a dazzling white flame and falls down as white powder which can be collected in a petri dish. This white powder is magnesium oxide, which is formed due to the chemical reaction between magnesium and oxygen. Another example of a chemical reaction which can be conducted in your laboratory is between zinc granules and dilute sulfuric acid. Take a few zinc granules in a conical flask and add dilute sulfuric acid to this. The chemical reaction takes place and the conical flask becomes warm. The reaction can be written as zinc plus sulfuric acid gives zinc sulfate and hydrogen. So, students, what does a chemical reaction involve? A chemical reaction involves change in state, change in color, change in temperature, and evolution of a gas. Now, students, how to write a chemical equation? A chemical reaction can be represented by a chemical equation using the chemical formulae of the reactants and the products. Let's see an example of a skeletal chemical equation. Skeletal chemical equation of burning of magnesium in the air is as follows. Magnesium Mg plus oxygen O2 gives magnesium oxide MgO. In this equation, the number of atoms of each element on the left hand side and right hand side of the arrow are not equal. Balanced chemical equation. Why to balance an equation? According to the law of conservation of mass, total mass of the reactants is equal to the total mass of the products. That is, the number of atoms of each element remains the same before and after a chemical reaction. So, we need to balance a skeletal chemical equation. Now, let's see an example. In the reaction between zinc and dilute sulfuric acid, the result is zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. The equation is as follows. Zn plus H2SO4 gives Zn SO4 plus H2. Dear students, here are the steps to follow while balancing a chemical equation. First step, draw boxes around each formula of the reactants and products and don't change anything inside the boxes. For example, look at this reaction between iron and water. We have drawn boxes so that no change of any numbers inside. Second step, now make a list of the number of atoms of different elements present on left hand side and right hand side. So it becomes like this. Iron, left hand side is 1 and right hand side it's 3. Hydrogen, left hand side 2, right hand side also 2. And oxygen, left hand side 1 and right hand side 4. Third step. Now the next step is to balance the compound that has more number of atoms. In that compound, now select the element with maximum number of atoms. In this equation, the compound is Fe3O4 and the element is oxygen. So LHS, Fe plus water gives Fe3O4 plus hydrogen. To balance the number of oxygen atoms, we can put coefficient 4 as 4H2O. Now the equation becomes Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 plus H2. Fourth step. Now to equalize the number of hydrogen atoms, make the number of molecules of hydrogen as 4 on right hand side of the equation. Then the equation becomes Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 plus 4H2. Fifth step. Now only iron has to be balanced. So to equalize iron or Fe, we have to take 3 atoms of Fe on the left hand side. Then it becomes 3Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 and 4H2. The number of atoms of elements on both the sides are equal. This equation is now balanced and it is done by hit and trail method. Dear students, a chemical reaction becomes more informative if the physical states of the reactants and the products are mentioned along with their chemical formulae, isn't it? So we use different symbols to mention their physical states. For gaseous state, we write G. For solid state, we put S, and for liquid state, we mention L, and for solution in water, we write AQ, that is aqueous. Also, we may have to mention the conditions involved above or below the arrow mark. That is, for example, if we are using a catalyst or if we are heating, we have to write catalyst's name or heat given on the upper part or below the arrow mark. So this concludes our first part of this chapter. Now wait for the second part. Till then, goodbye. Dear students, at least 1 or 2 questions are sure shot from this chapter every year in the board exam.